down to the beat side.
Hello, beautiful people. We are back again. Tell someone, to all your friends, it is time to get back into it. We are here for Chasing Atlanta, episode 6, season 6 for the girls. And we're going to get into some of these production things. And yes, I'm back on screen. Don't worry. Yeah, because somebody came and let me know. That voiceover thing you did, you sounded cute. But don't do that again, girl. We like your faces. So I'm here to give you the good facial expressions. Yes, I am. And we're going to talk about the show in terms of the production moments, and the edits, and the things that I like the most coming from the episode. So we're going to get into it. We actually not going to be here long because this was a clean episode. Okay, we have talked about it before. The word clean is a good thing around here. We like clean. We like clean. And this episode, from an editing standpoint, was very clean. So let's get into some things that happen along the way. So first things first that happens, we pick right back up from the actual instant that we left the last episode, which is what you should do on a cliffhanger. One thing I cannot stand, if you're going to cliffhanger me, please do not remind me of the cliffhanger. Because if I just watched it, even if it was a week ago, I know where I left off, and I know I know where you left me hanging. Please just do this. Y'all started, I mean, y'all gave us a little last time on do. But when we caught back up into the action, it was literally boom, right at that moment he held that man up and got us all wet. Because I know we all sat there and said, we definitely want us a man who gonna do that to us, period. But yes, I'm very glad we started from that moment and we got the ball rolling. Yet again, Rico Cassadine is proving that he is the editor's best friend. He is proving that he is here on a mission to be that girl when it comes to the confessionals. And baby, when I tell you that this boy is killing it, okay, I said action, and that whole background switch, and then he turned his body, and the whole background switch with him. Shout out to whoever edited that. The timing was actually impeccable. Like, it was, I went back and rewatched it in slow mo just to see if it was, because I'm the one, I wanted to know if it was off by a few frames or not, and it was not. And it was not. Now, I don't know what the final cut looked like. You know, the final cut might look like, one other thing. But what we got, it was not off by a second, baby. The moment his, and I wonder if when you edited it, I know you probably didn't go from the look, but we all know the clap comes just a half second. The sound comes just not even a half second. That's too long. There is a delay when it comes to recording claps because the sound has to travel to the microphone. So the reality is when you get a clap and someone, you don't actually hear it at the time that they clap, which means whoever edited this part had to go in and watch and make sure that that background switched at the instant that Rico's hands touched, because you can't do that as a sound edit. It won't work. You'll mess it up. It has to happen when his hands hit, because when we listen to it on the video, it'll be fine. But if you try to do that just listening to it and you think you're gonna edit it right just listening, it's gonna be off. But if you catch it on a video cue, you're good to go. So shout out to whoever got that because it was impeccably done. So shout out to that. All right. We'll move right along. Next is catching they caught Jatwan asking for the cameras to come back over. Now, I saw a lot of people have a lot of controversy about this. Oh, Jatwan's looking for a moment. Yada, 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 yada. Even Oliver said it in the show. I'm going to have to just give y'all the real when it comes to production. Two things. Two. One, if production is actually done, baby, we're done. Now, something might really pop off, right? And you can ask to start back up, like season 5. That whole situation where Dominique got maced and Andario got maced and all that stuff, they asked Andario, hey, can we pull the cameras back up so we can do this? And then the production team said, yes, you can, right? So please understand that if them people was ready to go home and they said production was done for the day, for real, there would have been no scene. None. It would have been over. Conversely, if you are a cast member and you show up to set, wherever the set is for the day, because as Ariel here told us, there are call sheets. If your call sheet says you're supposed to be in this place on this day, you should assume you are being filmed from the moment you arrive to the moment you depart. Period. Because you showed up there to film. That's why you're here today, is to film. So you should assume everything you're doing is on camera anyway. So, it does help with the storyline that Jatwan is looking for a moment. However, if them people didn't want to film, they would have been like, no, Jatwan, we done. It's a wrap. So sorry. Check him about it some other time. We'll set up a scene for you. So we just have to, I'll give the fairness where it's at. But will I say, though, is it creating a lovely storyline for us? Yes, it is. And I think this is a good point to make this. For anyone who watches or who participates in shows, I can definitely understand, because I see a lot of the conversation happening, and this is a production thing too, right? It's the thoughts of the production, the back behind the scenes. And obviously, I don't know what they were thinking. I can just go based off of what I would be thinking if I was making Chasing, right? I know what storyline I'm making for this person. That being said, I would have been very clear with everybody. I get to create this. This is still a creation. This has to be entertaining. There has to be a point and an end. The reality is, if most people got filmed just in their everyday life, they'd be boring. Me, for example, I'm not gonna hold you. If I'm not here on YouTube or doing drag or actively doing things, I'm sitting at home in a t-shirt and jeans, or not even jeans, probably some shorts or some sweatpants, playing video games, minding my business. I'm not being over the top in all of this even. Well, actually, that's if you catch me on the right day when I'm playing video games, I might be doing all of this. But that's my point is, we know it's edited. We know it's not really, really, really real. It's these scenes and these, manufactured, produced settings in which we want to see what you will do in them. So when we comment on them, we're not talking about you as a for real person. We don't know you. I ain't never met none of y'all in person, right? I'm just talking about what I saw on the show. So yeah, as far as the show goes, Jatwan, you looking for a moment. You are making storylines. In real life, do I think this of you? No. I don't know you. Never met you. I don't know anything. You could be absolutely lovely. And I hope that all of you who are in these shows can understand that from a production aspect. Anyone who's producing, we know what we're creating, but we also know that you gave us this to do so with. If these moments did not happen, we could not do this, right? Jatwan, if you didn't say cameras come here, they couldn't put that in the show, and because you did it, right? You gave them the footage, and they could edit it out. Why? That's not their job. Their job is to give the most entertaining content. And what is entertaining? Somebody asking for the cameras to come back to have a conversation about something that we just addressed. However, and this is where you have to watch and be real careful with your, when you see scenes, was a group scene or not, because you have to notice, Jatwan was not at place 2. Right? When was it 2? Yeah. When Oliver sat them all down and was telling them about, this not his fault. This is Chris Benoit's fault over I set it off. Yada yada yada. Jatwan was not there for that conversation. So, by all recollection of what we saw, and even in the edit, Jatwan never actually got that conversation until he pulled Oliver back over and pulled the cameras back over. So let's give Jatwan a little credit, whereas the rest of the cast knew this. That was our first time hearing him actually be told any of this. So we'll give him that pass there, because we have to talk about the edit, right? He did look like he was looking for a moment, but also in the edit, it did not show that he knew any of this prior to that conversation. So he did need that information. It just helped to sell the storyline that he's trying to get a moment for Oliver. So hey, whatever, it happened. I would have probably edited it the same way, because it hit the way it was supposed to hit. So I would have did the same thing. So sorry, Jatwan. I absolutely would have. Yeah, because it's good TV. You make good TV. That's the thing, is you make good TV whether you like it or not. But baby, you make great TV. So shout out to you. Um, then we get to, what was it oh, then you got Willa in the background twerking. Lord Jesus. You want to know the best part about this from a production aspect is I just know whoever was editing this went just went, I bet you everybody gonna focus on that back there because they're not gonna care about none of this. Because we the viewers have heard this conversation, right? Jatwan has not heard it, but we heard it already. So Willa in the background twerking was all of us at this point because we heard it. He didn't, we did. So I loved it because it was a visual representation of what was happening in all our heads during that whole scene. So shout out to Berlin and Willa because y'all was back there posing and twerking, and I lived. I lived. We're gonna move right on along because that scene was great. It was the opening, and this is when stuff starts to really just get clean, right? We have Tony and Tonka together. This is when you have two people who know just how to have good chemistry together. You don't have to overwork it. This seems like a conversation that Tony and Tonka would have any day of the week without the cameras in front of us, and that is what we love to see. Now, yeah, they might have did a little extra, a little put a little 1-2 on it because we want to make it interesting, but this felt natural. We love that. Outside of that, nothing really happened here. Very clean. Good to go. Moving on. Next scene, we got Jatwan and King Kane, which shout out to them. They have my favorite walk up of the episode. That was a little cute little walk up you did though. Which one of you in the black tank top, another one in the white tank top. We like a little, contrast in our looks. I guess tank tops were the end thing because everybody doing matching tank top situation. We got King Kane and Jatwan doing matching tank tops. Then back at like the beginning of the season, we had Dominique and Troy doing matching tank tops. So I guess matching tank tops is the trend alert for the season. We'll see. Maybe somebody else will do some more matching tank tops and we'll catch it again. Be on the lookout. If you catch some more matching tank tops, put it in the comments. Yes. But outside of that, this was fun. It was funny. This is the Jatwan we like, by the way. This is the fun side of everybody. And I think this is a nice part of the edit where we get to see those moments from people that really bring out the nice and the lighter side of them. I think for both Kane and Jatwan, you had two people who are the villains, right? Because so far they are the villains. They are the edited villains of the season so far. It was nice to see them hang out, right? Because it makes sense. The heroes assembled next. Behind that, it was the villains. And shout out to it. It was a great scene. The shit was funny. I cackled. I keyed along with them. Shout out to them. Next, we have Tony taking Berlin to the practice for House of Louboutin. Yes, House of Louboutin. So shout out to this scene. It was great. Again, another clean scene. Nothing crazy. Nothing, nothing extravagant. I'm loving that we get more ballroom talk because I am a very big fan. Very interested in walking myself one day. So, always excited to see scenes like this. I'm not gonna hold you. I will never not be happy to see a scene like this. You can shove like 5 of them in an episode, and I personally will be fine. But that's because of my personal bias, and I think most of us need to own that. There are things I'm gonna enjoy seeing, and it's on my personal bias. So, dear production, if you ever want to get me to watch something, put some ballroom stuff in the show. Me personally, I'm gonna watch it. Put some drag stuff in the show. I'm gonna watch it. That's how bias works in terms of content you want to watch. Yeah, so shout out to this scene. I tuned in very hard, and I actually watched this scene because I was trying to pick up how they was walking because I kind of learned how to walk one way. Yeah, period. Also watch a lot of other videos too. So yeah, maybe we'll do a video on that one day. What I want to do there. Maybe that will do that next week because ain't no chasing. Anyway, let's get back to this. Shout out to this scene. It was clean, nothing crazy. Loved it. It moved along just the way it should have. Pacing, all of it, great. Thank you. The next one. Oh wait, I skipped Oliver and Dominique. That's right, because we had the heroes and then the villains. That's right. That's what it was. We had Oliver and Neek, the heroes, which is weird, right? Because normally Oliver's the hero. Oliver's an anti-hero, and we all know that. But Oliver is happily an anti-hero, right? But at this point, in the edit that we're getting the heroes meet, for a scene that only shows to prove that their friendship that they used to not have is happening. Which this I'm not gonna hold you. I was like, on a personal level, I didn't really care a whole lot. But from a production standpoint, we have to tell the story that Oliver and Dominique are becoming friends because that's what happened to them this season. And that's something that they actually made a point to work on. So shout out to us getting to see that happening versus they say they're gonna work to be friends, and then we get to the reunion and they sitting next to each other, besties, and we're like, how did that happen? But now we see it. So yeah, we did. We had the hero scene that was cute, whatever. Then we had the villain scene, which was more fun because King Kane and Jatwan just make good TV. Period. I'm not gonna hold you. That scene was funny. I enjoyed it. Last but not least, we have the counseling scene for the femme queens of the season. Unfortunately, Willow was not able to make it for this. Um, from a production set, this was perfectly executed. I mean, there are very few times that I even get like emotional at TV shows, just because I'm usually watching it from a different lens. Um, it is sometimes harder for me to get like into the emotional moments of shows like this because I'm usually watching for what the camera shots are going to look like. Is there music going on? Am I going to see little things happening in the background that shouldn't be there or whatever have you? Um, and this was a scene where I really didn't do that. I had to actually rewatch this scene from a production standpoint on the second go round because about 10 seconds, honestly, from the moment Kendra walked up, the I'm so sorry. I said earlier that that was my favorite walk up. Jatwan, and that was probably my favorite one. Just because I really like the contrast there. Getting the moment of Kendra coming back was T. But I think I won't give that the best walk up just because this scene is probably one of my favorite uh, scenes that has been edited together on this program ever. Um, and I think it was just, I mean, it was, oof, man, it was so good. Very few things get me caught up, but just to see them be able to talk openly and to hear them tell their truths and so many things that like I feel like is even me as a butch queen I don't pay attention to. I feel like I definitely don't pay attention to my trans sisters as much as I should. I definitely will more so after just hearing those things and about their journeys. And it's like I feel like these are questions that like, no, I'm glad they did it with a counselor, but I was like, dang, I feel like these are things that I should be able to talk to my sisters about. I feel like I should be able to be there for them, you know, when they need somebody to talk to. And it definitely helps me realize what more of what they're going through. And I hope to take that and be able to learn how to be a better support system for anybody who ever needs me. So, I mean, really shout out to this because, like I said, very few things get me emotionally involved and make me want to check myself. Um, Especially on the first go round. Usually I'll catch it like after the first time I watch it because I get to just like sit and watch it. But this one really got me. So shout out to that. And I have to talk about the cherry on the cake. Baby, if y'all remember at the beginning of this, they talked about this was something that Dominique and Tony were putting on, were working on doing, right? Dominique wasn't there. At the end of this, we saw a shot of Dominique and Kendra hug each other. Mm, mm, mm. We didn't hear, I mean, I'm sure we'll hear what they said afterwards. We didn't have to hear nothing else because after what we just saw them sit there and talk about, and we heard Kendra open up like that, to just see that shot, ooh, I'm not gonna hold you a tear. I shed a tear, and Dario. And Dario, I have to say, you are the first person on YouTube. You are the first person on YouTube to get me to shed a tear. Cause I was like, if that can be, because keep in mind, we started this season with them blowing up. Well, really, Kendra blowing up at him. Not that he wasn't necessarily not antagonizing her, a little bit. Um, but so to see that, yeah, and there you got my first tear on YouTube. That scene was just immaculate. Um, yeah, I can't really say shit else about it. I loved it. It was if from a production standpoint, bro. I mean, damn, pacing, music, close ups, wide shots, reaction shots. I mean, yeah, like if you ever want to, this is the one, right? If you ever say, "Oh, I want to know what it looks like to successfully show an emotional, group scene," how do I do that? Season 6, episode 6, Chasing Atlanta. This is the one. That's it. We're gonna cut it right there because my God, that was good. This episode was clean. I appreciated everything in it. I'm excited for next week. Um, Wait, actually, no, it's not next week. They're taking a break, so I'm gonna have to give y'all some other content next week because I'm gonna still put out a video. Period. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe we'll talk about Set It Off. Actually, yeah, we might do Set It Off. We might just do episodes 1 and 2 at the same time, and then I will figure out a different day to continue doing them. If episode 2 pulls me in, here's the thing. Right? Episode 1 was cool. I actually liked episode 1 of Set It Off Atlanta. I liked it. The only thing is going into episode 2, I know how it has to go. Um, we've already seen the aftermath of the end of season 1 or of episode 1 because the aftermath is also a part of Chasing Atlanta. Because you know what? Real quick, let me jump back into this producer mode because I saw some people saying, "Oh, um, why Oliver not having actual events?" Oliver is a host. That's what he's a personality. He get paid to host things. So these are his jobs. These are the jobs you want him to bring you to. He can't bring you to some of them network jobs. But when Chris hired that man, keep in mind, Chris hired that man to host an event for him to put on a show that we will be talking about next week. So we get to see. I'm excited. Actually, you know what? That's what we're doing. We're definitely talking about Set It Off because we get to talk about intertwining seasons. And that's exactly what we have here between Chasing Atlanta and Set It Off Atlanta season 2, season 3. I don't know how they doing their number because they had fuck it. I'm about to ramble. We're not doing that. We're gonna get the fuck up out of here. I'll see y'all next week. We're gonna talk about Set It Off. We're gonna talk about intertwining seasons, and I'm gonna get up out of here. I love y'all. To everybody who was here, who came in, said something. Actually, no, that's not the right ending. This is not a live. Why did I do my live ending? Anyway, y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite edits were of this season, what you did like, what you didn't like. Let me know if you are excited to talk about these intertwining seasons next week, because that is definitely what I'm going to do. I might bring Angela back for it. Wait, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have. Anyway, I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.